Hi. I haven't done this in a while, so I may be a little rough. And as is always the case on the internet, there's more than one way to get someplace. I am not a huge user of D2L, but we will get there, and we'll use it for much, but not all quizzing. I'm a huge fan of textbooks. So going asynchronous, as apparently they're calling this, uh, means that you're forced to do a lot of learning with the textbook, and I really that's the way I always do it. So this is not odd for me. I got my first COVID shot. I will get another in a bit, but I have a medical condition that means interactions with humans have to be restricted until that goes away. I love teaching. I love technology. The textbook for this course, Boughton, is extremely solid. Um, the only downside to the textbook is he and I are of similar ages. We went through our lives in the field approximately in synchrony, and he steals a lot of my stories. And he tends to hit topics lightly early and then go back to them later. And I've used his book several times. I'm trying to learn to roll with that. Usually, when I hit something, I hit it hard. Chapter one in this book has an incredible amount of stuff. We're not doing chapter one in week one. We're only doing the syllabus and getting things rolling. Each week, you will take 1/4 or so of that week's assigned readings and make a lecture like this. You can show your face if that amuses you. You can do what I do, which is share my desktop. I'm really mostly interested in the text. You'll write up a little study guide to help study outline, to help people know the important points of what you're covering, and you'll walk us through them. Nothing extensive. Light and lively, should not be threatening. I've done this for maybe 4 years. It's not idiosyncratic to this asynchronous teaching. As far as I know, nobody's had trouble with it. People do report that they tend to learn the material they do these mini lectures on better than the rest of the chapter. You are free to do more than 1/4 of the assigned readings, but you should not share anything but the 1/4. So let's see how to get to course materials. We are at the Google, and I am Tim Cannon. There's another one out there, and there he is. He stalks me. He implants electronic devices under his skin. It's creepy. So add Scranton, and you'll get to my homepage.
Here are the top search results.
Oh, geez. Sorry. My phone is always listening. Um, I'm big on evolution. Evolution is covered a bit in chapter one and more in chapter two. So we'll have some fun with that. There's a quote: I have faith in nothing in psychology makes sense except in the light of evolution. That is a modification of a famous quote: nothing in biology makes sense except in the light of evolution. Biology is the study of life. We are we are alive. I'm working on staying that way. And evolution is important. When I was you, I wasn't, I think, taught anything about evolution. When I went through grad school, I had almost nothing. It wasn't until I came back here and started teaching as a low-level faculty member that I accidentally chose textbooks that opened me up to evolution, and now I am a big believer. So my office, where I'm not, is in 202. That's my school campus number. It automatically forwards us to my cell. You might as well go right to the cell. But I don't talk to strangers. So if you plan on contacting me through my cell, the way to do that is to text me first, explain who you are, and I'll teach my system how to recognize you. I also prefer the Gmail account, although anything you send to scranton.edu goes automatically over to me. I have no idea how we're going to do online advising if I'm your advisor. I used to require that everybody came and visited me so we could, share space and get to know each other. Now, I guess I'll rely more heavily on your recorded lectures, just to give me a hint as to who you are. That's me there. Years ago, there's Dr. Waldeck. He's a good sport. These aren't a very great interest to you. These are courses I teach, and we are in Learning and Behavior 2021. So there we go. There's a little blither blather here about, what a good school should be, a good university. I'm certainly not testing on that. This will take you back to my homepage. Oh, not today. I will have to try to fix that. Ouch. Ouch. Okay, I'll fix it. That's weird. I have those on all my pages. This is so I can get to the textbook, like so that works. Although I don't need it for this week's lecture. And there we are. No, we're not. Wrong book. I will fix that too, but you can't use that anyway, so it's not important. Well, good thing I'm test driving this. Let's hope this takes you to D2L. Now, I should be signing. These D2L access links don't last as long as they used to. And there we go, learning and behavior. That's correct. This should take you back to my homepage. Oh no, right, the course for the Google. This week, all we're doing is syllabus. But let me just show you down here under calendar. By the way, you will owe me your, I guess, really just 1/4 of the syllabus outline and a little bit of audio there by Thursday. And the D2L discussion board will have discussion threads for each week. You can post your text there as it appears, or if you're a fan of Google Docs, as I am, you can put your text in a Google Doc and share that link. But please remember to make the link public or else people can't see it. And I used to worry about you guys not being able to make YouTube videos, and then you laughed at me as being old and out of it. So hopefully you won't have any trouble with that. Um, some people in other courses have actually posted things that kind of became hot on the internet, and you could try for that if you wish, but it's not overly important. Here's the syllabus. Okay. Um, this should look familiar. Again, there's the cell and office number. I prefer the cell, but text me first. And there's the Gmail and Scranton email. I prefer the Gmail. Um, homepage, I'm assuming this will be for the course. No, it's my homepage, which had better work. Yes. So I don't know what's wrong with that other link, but I'll fix it. That's the beauty of internet. It's fluid and we fix things. I really do love interacting with students. So when I was in AMH, I meant that. I have office hours, but you can come visit me anytime. Now my medical condition sometimes puts me in an infusion chair for 3 hours, hopefully only once a week. And I may have to drive 6 hours back and forth to Hopkins occasionally. But other than that, I'm good to go on talking. I don't want to talk a lot in the car, and I don't want to talk in a public space when I'm getting an infusion. And there's my good friend Boughton from the University of Vermont. Um, he really knows stuff. Uh, he knows some of the same secret stories that I do. So, there's an overview of what the APA says we should be trying to do in our courses. As I've already said, I'm a huge fan of the textbook. And oh boy, does this text encourage you to deal with critical thinking, particularly research design. He shows you over and over how experiments are configured and how they let us, learn what needs to be learned. Really excellent book. We don't do a lot of ethics in here, although the United States used to be pretty hysterical over behavior modification and the ethics of that. Communication, you will be making little videos and making little lectures, so we'll be doing that. Nothing much on professional development other than you're learning about learning and behavior. There is a subfield of psychology where people use this methodology often in dealing with autistic children and doing it correctly and solidly, particularly with the vulnerable, is very important. These boilerplates should be on all your syllabi. If I detect that something odd has happened to you, which will be a little bit difficult in this format, this lets you know that I am, legally obliged to report things. I certainly don't want to discriminate against anyone based on anything. So there's that. And whoops, I keep forgetting that my cursor is way up the page. So when I hit the arrow down, I jump up often. Okay. You have a writing assignment. And since this week is a light week, I really think it would be wise to get this out of the way ASAP. Um, it can take 1.5 to 2 hours. Some research has indicated that this will increase your academic performance. So how can I not use it? The science says it can help. This link hopefully will take you to the assignment. Now, the way to deal with this is to answer these questions um, outside the form. There they all are. You can copy and paste them into a Word document or a Google Doc if you wish. And once you've answered all the questions, you can very easily go here to this form and just, answer the questions if you need to type and copy paste your other answers. So do not try to do this inside the form. I think it would drive you crazy. Use that preliminary document to answer the questions. This is not graded. This is to promote you to think and think deep thoughts and think about your future. And it can help you be a better student. So I've been doing this for several years. It takes some time, but it's time well spent. And these are your lecture outline and student presentations that I've already mentioned. So this week you're going to look at 1/4 of this, uh, which could include that survey if you wanted to just overview part of the survey. You're going to create little lecture notes, which should not be obsessed over. Light and lively. They're outlines. You shouldn't stress about them, but oh boy, you should spell check them and make sure they are coherent. And then make a YouTube video, largely just using your lecture outline as your template, and go from there. Now, I have the book online, so when we're in a chapter, I can easily just call up that chapter once my link doesn't take me to my other course, Drugs and Behavior. You guys have textbooks. That may be a little more challenging for you. If you have an independent webcam, you can spin that on your textbook if you want to, or just have the textbook open as you go through your lecture materials. So I want those by Thursday each week. The quizzes will almost certainly occur on Friday. We're doing one quiz a week, including this week. They are light and lively. Uh, do stress, but don't stress over them. Assigned readings, again, I'm a huge fan of textbooks. You will not be tested on information that is contained only in the figure or table unless you're told that you're responsible for it. Let me warn you that the figures and tables include research designs, like what happens to group 1, what happens to group 2. I'm telling you now, those are assigned. Last week quizzes. Why are they called last week quizzes? Because they're on last week. So this week, we don't have a last week, but next week there will be a last week. So next, roughly Friday, you will be quizzed on nothing from next week, but everything from this week. And once you do this once or twice, it's not confusing. Rolling Thunder. That was a good war. We left Iraq after that one. Some material is fundamental to the course. You need to know it always. So I am not at all a believer in learn something for a week and then turn stupid. This is a course on learning and behavior, and being retested on material, which is why I also have a comprehensive final. The science is crystal clear. If you have two courses, one with a comprehensive final and one without, both short-term and long-term, you will learn more if there's a comprehensive final. And fundamental material, same deal. If you're tested on it over and over, you will learn it more effectively and you'll be less stressed. So there's the comprehensive final. Now, notice it says you have to take the entire final. That may surprise you, but that's certainly true. But it will be divided into three major sections, and there are three major blocks in the course. You will get a curved grade on each block of the course, and you'll get a curved grade on each block of the final. You can challenge, as we'll see somewhere, I hope, one and only one of the blocks, and the higher of the two will define your grade. Students with disabilities, this really should not be showing up here. I'll move it. So there's the challenge option, which I've already alluded to. You can challenge that as replace one and only one semester block grade with the approximate curve score of the final. I curve everything. And the curve will never be harder than a typical faculty member's curve. Trust me. The two grades will be compared, and the higher used in calculating your course grade. Now, in case that's not clear, the challenge option cannot lower your score. All it does is make more work for me. You simply indicate as you take the final which block you will challenge. It's almost always smartest to challenge the lowest grade on a curved part of the course. So the quizzes, the last week quizzes, 67% of the course. The final is 33%. Now, of course, if you're following along with me mathematically, 66 is a lot like, or 67 is a lot like 66, 1/3, because there are three blocks of 66 or 22. So if you challenge the final and your grade goes up on that challenge, the final is worth 55% of your course grade. If you challenge the final and you don't go up, then it's worth 1/3. And there's a curving system, and it's just simple interpolation. I don't care how many people get a certain grade. They used to beat on faculty for giving too many A's. I do not fear that. So the course catalog defines, so there's the curve. I will not go worse than. And there's the school's grading system. So if you have a 4.0, which means the A range goes from 4 to 4.67. Actually, I usually let it go to 5. So you just need the minimum of a 4 to get an A. 3.67 is an A minus, and the rest are laid out there. It may look a little complex, but as Bill Nye likes to say, knowledge is power, and you will know what you got. So there's the grading system. A 4 to 4.67, A minus, blah, 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 down to F, which presumably will not happen. Oops, there's a reference to reading ahead grades, which in this online format I'm getting rid of. So it's just the last week quizzes and the final exam. So this is testable. It's also Rolling Thunder. Learn the syllabus. Knowledge is power. Let me show you something else. Now you actually can't be looking at this. I'll post it on D2L, I'm sure. So here's syllabus and lecture. So you get one of these links each week, which will have a link to my YouTube lectures. So this lecture, once it's compiled and posted on, on YouTube, will appear right there. Now, a lot of these things I put on here are just to enjoy yourself. Not this one, but I'm not going to test this in grueling detail. Dunning-Kruger, very important to me. And it's not here. Oh no, anesthesia. I'll have to try to fix this. No, there we go. No, we don't. Okay, the publisher may have taken down the link since it came around. So basically, look at this title. Talk about a threatening title. Unskilled and unaware of it. How difficulties in recognizing one's own incompetence lead to inflated self-assessments. That is the most brutal title I've ever seen in an academic journal. And this has been around for quite a while. Here's full text. Will it work? APA is greedy. They always want money. Yes, they want money, which is maybe why the link is now gone. Dang. I'll find you a link to an image for the figure I want you to know. Basically, this article says that people who are, quote, incompetent, that is the bottom quartile in the class, overassess their competence and how well they did. And then the next quartile up assess how well they did, assessing that they did about as well as the bottom quartile. And then the next quartile is pretty accurate. They assess how they performed approximately equally. What's interesting, really interesting, is that the top quartile, the very best students in the class, regularly slightly underestimate how well they did on the material. So it's called the Dunning-Kruger effect. It was very heavily referenced during the last president's reign. Hopefully they won't be doing that very much during the current president. So if the APA, which is like Disney, hasn't scrubbed the internet for free copies of this, I will try to fix that link. Evolution is important to the beginning of this course. This is not testable, but we have to worry about this with COVID, unfortunately. That is one of the scariest videos I've ever seen. And particularly since in the United States, we put more antibiotics into the animals we eat than into people, we have a death wish. That really has to stop. So there's nothing testable in there, but it's humbling. And don't let anyone give you antibiotics unless you need them. I'm a huge fan of Bill Nye. I'm not assigning this, but this is a podcast with Bill, and it's a good one. And you're making mini podcasts for this class. So learning how to make a good podcast is worth your time. All those years are tiny. And my daughter's computer used to boot up to this song. I actually contacted Bill. I missed seeing him in Cornell by 1 week. I wanted to teach a college course uh, based on this. And just like the APA is obsessed with money, and they may have hidden all the Dunning-Kruger uh, articles, Disney was not amused at the thought of using his book um, or his videos for a college course, so I did not do it. But it was exciting contacting Bill. Here's the calendar. And notice it says by class. Of course, there is no class, so Thursday. And next week we get into real content. Ooh, and next week is Darwin Day. Happy Darwin Day. So this class is always evolving. I'm going to try to fix the link here, and I may throw in some extra things. But right now, what your quiz will be on. You have to make an outline, an educational video on what you're responsible for this week. I hope we can have some fun, even though I'm not in the room. Love you guys. Talk to you soon.